Good afternoon, resellers and Thomas Train fans. About a month and a half ago, I'd made a video about the batch of Thomas trains we got, and I went through and kind of put them on video, but I couldn't figure out a lot of the names, and I didn't know there was this much value in the batch. I knew we did well, but I didn't know we did this well. I kind of just wanted to go through the trains and be able to tell the names a little better and tell you what we sold them for. So the first one we sold, they're Bill and Ben. They were twins, and they're pretty rare. The pair of those two sold for $61.19. Pretty nice shape they're in, and yeah, again, they're twins, Bill and Ben, from 2006 motorized. Those sold for $61.19. Then we sold Douglas with his tender, and he sold for $16.19. Again, we had free shipping on most of those, so it's more like 11, but still, again, we paid $60 for all those trains, and we haven't even sold the tracks yet. Then we got Jerome, the crane, and he sold for $8.99. Trying to think if, yeah, I think he was in that batch. We did sell a few of our other trains then, because more people started looking at our other trains from before. Then we sold Hurricane from 2013 with two little lava tenders, and he sold for $26.09. Then we sold Emily with her tender. She sold a little cheaper, $10.79. Then Paxton, that was a pretty good one, $24.29 with his tender. Followed by another cheap one, $9.89, 2002 Salty. I want to say that didn't come in that batch. I feel like we already had Salty, and somebody just picked him out because, again, our trains hadn't got much views since it was a lot that had been sitting out. Then we got sitting around we hadn't sold any lately. Then we got sold Spencer for $11.69 with his tender. And we sold some extra piece for a track for $16, but not a big deal. I'm not going to go through that one. Then we sold Hero with his tender, 2013 motorized, for $16.19. And then we sold Edward. His sticker's torn off the one tender, so it was a little bit discounted, but he still went for $32.99. I was very surprised about that because Edward's one I knew, so I didn't think it was that uncommon, but apparently it is for the motorized one. Then we got the Hugo Zeppelin, and he sold for $17.09. And a refresher again, I think I said it earlier, but we got this whole batch for $60, and we still have a few left. Then we sold the Flying Scotsman with his tender. That's a really rare one for $33.99, so that was a very good sale for us. Then we got a cheap one, and I think we already had this one. I took an offer, I think for $6.99. Got very little back on that Percy one, but all the Percy ones don't sell very well. So keep that in mind when you're buying Thomas. Thomas and Percy, the two most common, they don't sell too well. Then we got Annie and Clarabelle passenger cars. The two of those together sold for $13.99. They're from 2009. Then we sold Sir Handel. I took an offer for $18.99. I had him out for $20.99. Pretty good shape train there. Trackmaster. Another motorized. Those motorized trains were selling really well for us. I actually just ordered a bunch of wooden trains off eBay. I won an auction earlier for 81 trains for $90. So if I could do something with those, I'll keep you posted on that. Here we got Victor 2009 diecast, not in the best of shape, so I've sold it cheap for $7.99. By the way, I do like to thank you for all the support. The Thomas fans really started subscribing to us, and yeah, we got 2,000 views. Hopefully you enjoy this Thomas video a little better with a little more detail. And I do like to thank everybody that's helping out and commenting and liking and subscribing. If you are enjoying this content, if you could please subscribe, it helps us immensely. And then here we got the glow-in-the-dark Edward, another Edward train that went for $27.99. And then we have Stanley. He's an oddball color white one, and he sold for $19.99. That's another motorized. And by the way, nobody returned them. All these trains worked, so that was a real big help having no returns. Here's one of the rarest ones you'll find. 2006 motorized, shaving duck, excuse me. He's got the shaving cream there on his face, and he sold for $45.99. I was really pumped about that. I mean, he paid for over half the trains himself. Then we have motorized Mike and his tender from 2013. He sold for $23.99. And we got motorized Toby from 2013 also, $13.99. Followed by 2012 motorized Stafford. He sold for $18.99. And then we sold just I'll pop it up, but it's no big deal. Just a jet fuel tender for $6.56. I mean, minus shipping, I'm like $1 or $2, but still tender sold and helped fill somebody's collection, hopefully. Then we got Lexi with her tender. Those stains on there, she's supposed to have those. And that's from 2013. That sold for $16.19. And then we got, I'm not sure if I'm saying this, Rheneas with a blue tender. She sold, or I'm not sure if it's a girl or a guy, Rheneas. I guess that could be either. Looks like a guy in the picture, but $22.49 sold for. I'm not familiar with the name Rheneas or that train name. And then we sold Mavis for $16.19, 2009 motorized. And then we sold Bananas Gordon train with his tender, $29.69. That's another good one. So even if the eBay lot I got today, if I don't do quite as well on, it's not, I mean, I made so much on this batch of trains. I mean, hopefully I do good on it. And worst case, if I take all 80 trains down to Green Dragon, they'll sell $3 2 for $5 pretty easy, and I'll get like $40 profit even if there's nothing worth selling on eBay. Here's Trevor Tractor. He sold for $7.19. Not much of anything on that one. That was actually one we already had. So all the ones we still had, I either took down to the flea market or I just discounted them because I wanted to unload them once we got this batch. Here we got Connor and Caitlin. They're twins, and they both have two tenders, $32.39. The one tender was kind of messed up, so I discounted a little. Probably could have got closer to $40 otherwise, but I didn't want to go tender shopping, so somebody can always upgrade one of those tenders if they want to have it in better shape. And then we have Victor from, I don't have a year there, but he's motorized, and he sold for $10.79. Followed by Diesel. That's another cheap one that we had around that I lowered the price, $8 free shipping. Just wanted to unload a couple of them, so that wasn't out of that batch either. And then Jungle Crash Thomas, that was in the batch, but $8 free shipping. Another very cheap one. Like I said before, Thomas and Percy aren't ones you should be on the lookout for, really. And then Belle, $8 free shipping. She was not in that. Oh yeah, she was in that batch. I'm sorry. We had sold her, and then we got another one of her out of this batch, but that one did not go for much. And Thomas, Streamline, sold for $11.69. And then Thomas Glow in the Dark Speed Sparks, he sold for $9.88. Midnight Mail Percy, $8.99. Again, Percy goes cheap. And then Animal Party Percy, even with two little tenders, $8 free shipping. You would think if any Percy was going to sell, it'd be that one. That looks like an oddball one with the leopard spots, but nope, cheap. And finally another expensive one. And I think we have maybe 2 or 3 expensive ones back there yet. But there's Donald, $33.99. I could have got more if that tender wasn't messed up there. But yeah, there you have it. At least now I can give you the names a little better and show you some of the money we made off of that. And by the way, if you see on the screen right there, we just hit 4,000 stars. We still have 100% positive feedback, so check out our store, Vintage Vultures, and our YouTube channel. Obviously, you're already checking out. But yeah, we got 100% feedback, and we want to keep growing and grow our followers on eBay and YouTube, and hopefully start getting some more whatnot going. But again, thanks for viewing, and I'll try to hit you up Saturday with a yard sale video depending on weather. Everybody have a great week.